Hello, and welcome back to Rezler Games. We are playing Half Life 2. This is part 2, and that's what we're doing. Someone in the comments of the last video, named John Bin, suggested that for this video, I talk about other video games that I enjoy. So that's what I've done. I've compiled a list of 5 of my favorite video games, excluding Half Life 2, which is the game we are currently playing. And that's what we're going to be talking about. Again, if you would like to suggest topics for future videos, it doesn't have to be relating to video games, just leave it in the comments, and I will talk about it. Good. So, one of my favorite video games is a game called Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain is a relatively new game. I think it came out like last year, I say hesitantly. That seems right, at least. It's one of the games I talked about in my video games as art video, and I think it's the best example, at least I can come up with, of video games being a really effective form of narrative. Half-Life 2 does a pretty good job too, but I think Heavy Rain takes the cake on the narrative department. As you can see, examples of narrative going on around. Oh, geez. Okay, we're gonna run away now. Heavy Rain is a detective-style game, I guess. It's centered around a murder, or a series of murders that take place by a serial murderer, go figure, named the Origami Killer, and you're like trying to figure out who the Origami Killer is and like stop him from dying and rescue the kid that he kidnapped, and it's this big murder mystery thing. But one of the really interesting things about Heavy Rain, and this seems totally unintuitive for a video game, but it almost completely does away with all forms of gameplay. There is basically no platforming, there's no shooting, there's not a lot of like skill-based things involved, period. Oh, I'm being shot at. That's decidedly unnice. Oh, look, helicopters. Man, I am a real high-value target. Or actually, they're just ignoring me, aren't they? Oh, but luckily, the news is here. In Heavy Rain, basically everything revolves around a series of what are called quick-time events, which is something almost every gamer hates. But they use it really, really, really well to basically turn the game into a series of choices that you have to make, and the choices have really serious outcomes on what happens in the game. And beyond your choices, one thing that's really cool is if you lose, if you mess up. Wow, I just really screwed up that that staircase. Oh, geez, whoa, okay. How do I run away? Oh, God. Yep, I'm deadsies, so that's good. If you die in Heavy Rain, though, instead of just resetting you and making you redo something, it continues and you have to suffer the consequences. Like if you get caught by the police, then you have to escape from jail. It's just very clever like that. The person we're looking at right here, by the way, and this is exciting for me, is Alex Vance, my favorite character in everything because she's perfect and I love her, and we're getting married, and it's a very romantic affair. So yeah, that's basically Heavy Rain. Another game that I really love is called BioShock, which is on the downside when I try and present it as an excellent example of art. It is like gratuitously violent and like a first-person shooter, so that doesn't lend it art points when trying to explain to other people. But it is obscenely clever in the things that it does and the way that it portrays its narrative. It does a lot of things politically, like it basically the entire city that you interact with in BioShock, which is called Rapture, is based on the political philosophy of Ayn Rand, who is portrayed in the game as Andrew Ryan. Andrew Ryan represents Ayn Rand. You see what they did? AR, it's almost all the same letters. Clever. For the record, if you're ever writing something, don't do the whole rearrange the letters of your metaphor to be the name of the new person. I hate that. It's not clever anymore, guys. But regardless, it is a very cool mechanic in BioShock. Basically, the entire city is built on the philosophy of Ayn Rand, and the city crumbles. The city falls apart, and you're there picking through the ashes. And it has some just really cool political metaphors in the way that it's relaying a very political message without hitting you over the head. It's interesting and very in the spirit of Ayn Rand, even though it's a critique of Randian or Ayn Randian, I don't know how you would say that, philosophy. It is very much in the spirit of her works as well. It's almost using her style of storytelling as a critique against her thought, which is just really interesting. It's also just a really fun game. that I thoroughly enjoyed. Most recently, of all of these games, I played a game called Mass Effect 3, and I'm just going to lump the whole Mass Effect series together. Whoa, I forgot about that. The good old, I guess there weren't enough bookcases, so they started just putting them in Powerade machines. Oh, look, secret lab. Not quite a secret tunnel, but I'll take a secret lab with, oh, look, working magnifying glasses. That's awesome. And apparently we're reading earthquake reports. I'm going to go with that. All right. Some good old test tubes, like you do. Anyway, Mass Effect 3, or the whole Mass Effect series, I'm just going to talk about it as one, is again a really clever narrative beyond just being a fun game. The easiest way to separate an average video game from a very good video game is in terms of its narrative. That was the teleporting cactus just there, in case you missed it. Good. I'm going to pick up this book and throw it at Dr. Kleiner. The entire Mass Effect series has a very clever narrative in that all three games, your save from the first game carries over to the second game, and your save from the second game carries over to the third game. So your choices made, years ago affect the way the story plays out now, right? So even though I played Mass Effect 1 when it came out in, 2008, I think, it affected the way characters interacted with me and the way the story played out when I just beat the third game. In obscenely clever ways. And I really like that because it gives you a real attachment to the characters other than being like, okay, this is the scripted interaction that they wanted me to have. My interactions are based on choices I've made in the past, and it allows me to develop myself as a person within the game, which is a little meta, and I will get less artsy-fartsy on you exactly now. Another really good game is Portal. Portal is hecka fun. If you want to see people having fun playing Portal, I believe Hank Green and Charlie played Portal 2's multiplayer and had a good old time with that. Oh, whoops. That's a head crab. You're going to be seeing a lot of those. Those are an enemy normally, but it's a pet in this instance. Yeah, Portal is a very fun game that does interesting things with physics, and basically just plays around with your conceptions of basic physical laws in a really fun puzzle format type of way. And it's just fun. It's just a fun game with a very clever, very funny story, and I don't have to get too artsy-fartsy about that one because it's just fun on a very base level. Oh, look, Hula Girl. How do I crouch? I forget how to crouch. There we go. How do I make her? Yep. Good. One of the interesting things about Portal and Half-Life 2 is that I did not mean to play them. The reason I own both of those games is because there is a bundle of games called the Orange Box that is put out by a company called Valve that makes both Half-Life 2 and Portal. And in that bundle also came a game that I wanted to play called Team Fortress 2, which is a very good but not in any way unique multiplayer shooter, a la Call of Duty or something like that, where basically you just play multiplayer killing game, which is what I was looking to buy, but you couldn't buy it without buying the entire bundle. So, I was mad. I'm like, I have to buy Half-Life 2 and Portal. I don't even know what these games are. And then they turned out to be way better than what I intended to buy. So that was a lucky happenstance. Portal, also interestingly enough, the first Portal was only built for that bundle. It's just a 2-hour game that they tacked on, thinking this will be a fun little extra, and it turned out to be a huge success throughout the gaming world. You may have heard the popular song by Jonathan Colton called "Still Alive." That's from the game Portal, and is very catchy. I won't sing it for you because I'm not a robot or a girl. Both things are required to sing that song. And last one on my list is Beyond Good and Evil, which is the oldest game on my list. Beyond Good and Evil is a game that I don't remember a lot of because it's been a long time, but it's about a girl named Faith that lives in a world where animal people exist. This game came out on the GameCube, so it was a little more not serious in its approach, I guess. But it was just really, really fun, and I just really liked it. And one thing that it did that I happened to really enjoy is there was a photography element. While you were playing the game, you could go around and hold on, I'll stop talking as Alex gets teleported here in a second. Oh yeah, no wait, it breaks. I will fix that. Beyond Good and Evil has a photography element where basically she has to go around and take pictures of all of the animals in the world. That's not the point of the game, but that's just like a little sub part. And I'm a sucker for photography in video games. Like, did any of you guys play Pokemon Snap? Because Pokemon Snap was my freaking jam on the N64, where you would go around and take pictures of Pokemon and just be like, yep, that's a thing that I did. I don't know why. It's something very addictive in that. But beyond that, Beyond Good and Evil has just a really good, solid story, and a very epic Lord of the Rings-ish feel as you traverse this world. Also, it was one of the earliest games, at least that I played, that had an open world. Which what we're playing now is what's called a linear game, where you basically go where the game tells you to, and you go here, then you go here, then you go here, then you go here. But a lot of games, like I forgot I had to flip the switch. A lot of games, like, I don't know which ones you would know, but like Assassin's Creed or Grand Theft Auto have what are called open worlds, where you can just walk around freely. They present you the world, and you can do things within it, but you're not like going from level to level. Oh, and she just teleported, so see ya, Alex. Oh, look, she's in the TV. And she kissed her dad. And look, television. That's how that works. Fun fact, that's how everyone on the television gets in the television. We have to teleport them in there. That's how I get on YouTube as well. I step in something like this, and then I spin around a lot. And then, after I stop vomiting, I'm on YouTube. And that's kind of how it works. And then Barney's like, look how proud I am of everything I've just done. So yeah, that's basically the 5 games that I thoroughly enjoy. I would consider my top 5. Oh, I guess my top 6 when you include Half-Life 2. And I guess now I'm going to get teleported. And as soon as I am, whoop, okay. Sorry, I'm very confused by what's occurring right now. I think I might have done something wrong, but I'm not going to fix it. Good. Oh, yeah. Okay, things broke. I'm teleporting. Confused. But it's... Yep, go. Oh. Alright, now I'm in, like, space, and there's crows. And I... What? Okay, now I'm in the right place. I want to stay here. Nope, they're not going to let me do that. And teleport some more, I guess. Oh. And now I'm in some laboratory. Good. That's a good place to be. Oh, I'm back where I started. I'll take this. Oh, apparently, Dr. Kleiner just said, I'm going to be ripped apart. So, this might actually be the end of the game. Maybe I'll just be ripped apart, and that'll be the end. Oh, back in the lab. He just said Gordon Freeman. Oh, and now I'm drowning. That's fun. Drowning is always good. Oh, almost got eaten, so that was fun. And I'm back out again. And that's where we're going to end this episode of Rezler Games. I will see you guys next time. All right.